Hell yeah. Just like high school. What's going on, guys? You already know what time it is. It's time for that retro game of the week. And if you think you got next, I even supply the quarter for you. What's going on, Gonzo Gamers? Welcome to today's edition of your retro game of the week. If you thought I went way back last week, I'm gonna go even further this week. So this week's game is none other than Frogger. I'm pretty sure my OGs out there remember this one. Definitely a classic, definitely a super throwback. Nothing, now nothing hype, or maybe it's hype because it's retro. But like you compare it to what's out there now, obviously it just doesn't compare as far as like graphic gameplay and all that stuff like that. But back in the day when it dropped for the Atari, it was probably the biggest thing out there. Remember it coming out on the arcade first, at least from what I looked up. It was dropped in the arcade and then on home console, and really it's nothing to it. You're a frog trying to get to the other side, kind of like a why did the chicken cross the road kind of thing. Basically the frog trying to get across a highway, across I guess a pond or a riverbank to where its destination was, either in a lily pad or on the other side of, basically the other side of the screen. As always, provide, little picture in picture here. Yeah, that's a water cooler back there. It's really not, it's not in use right now. It's just for decor, but when I get everything going here, they're definitely being used because summers here where I live at in Texas is not the greatest, especially in this garage that I don't have the greatest circulation of air. I have some, not most. There's no vents in here. There's no central air in here. So either I buy something and use the water cooler to cool my ass down. Anyway, really, as you see from the picture in picture, it's just the frog going from the bottom to the top of the screen, dodging cars, trucks, whatever traffic is there. Then when it gets to the part where it has to go from land to water, you're getting on lily pads or leaves or whatever it is, logs. You have to dodge. I guess there's a crocodile that comes across the screen. I realized that when I was playing. And then you get towards the end, but it's just all about strategic timing, moving the, like I said, this is all I had. This is really all I had. It was a joystick, and so you press a button and you move around up, down, left, right. Really nothing much to it, at least for the Atari goes when it came to Frogger. There were other games that did use other joysticks, like you had for racing. I guess you turn the knob and it curves left and right. I guess the trigger is for the gas. I haven't played a racing game on my Atari yet. I do own one, but I just haven't given it a try yet. And then you had sports games that I believe use this. It says paddle, I guess, for tennis, and it's the same thing. I guess you swung with the clicks and moved, or swung with this, and I really don't know, but there was just two buttons on each of the thing, not even one button and something to move a joystick, one button for my OGs. I don't know how you did it, but it was done, and at that time it was the greatest thing on earth. So I'm not knocking it, because as you saw the last episode, ColecoVision, number pad, and what you call a joystick, but the joystick was like circular like this, not like this. But that's really kind of what it was. Frogger, I said it was a hit in the arcades. So much of a hit, I guess, with the OGs that if you ever watched Seinfeld, there's an episode where the character George Costanza has like the top score in Frogger because like he's the man on it. And if the arcade, I believe, was pulled out or shut off or something, his high score was going to be obsolete. and he's trying to save his high score somehow, some way throughout the entire episode, to the point where he gets in a scenario where he's real life Frogger with the machine, and they give an overhead view of him trying to go across, I guess, a busy main street in New York, and he's like bopping and weaving through traffic, to the untimely scenario where a truck hits the arcade and like just explodes, and well, failed mission. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Frogger. It's just point A to point B with a bunch of obstacles in the middle. And I said nothing crazy lackluster. Again, like the Smurfs, it wasn't nothing wild, but for the timeline that it was the greatest thing on earth. Alright guys, as always, like, not like, middle finger, criticize, curse out, say whatever the hell you want in the comments. I don't care. I told you, I shoot this like it's live. Like I'm talking to a live studio audience with the applause and the cheers and the boos and everything else. One take and it's over. But feel free to subscribe, Gonzo Gone Gaming on YouTube. Also DD214 Gaming on YouTube. Check out their page on Facebook. Check out my group on Facebook, Gonzo Gone Gaming. And that's it for this week. But as you saw in the intro, if you guys still want the smoke, where the hell is it? Got that quarter for you if you want the smoke of Marvel vs. Capcom. My machine doesn't take quarters, but I do. So bring your money. Chumps.